2025 can be your year, my year, our year if we implement the following 5 things. The first thing is to put ourselves first. If we want to achieve our goals, if we want to make any progress when it comes to our goals, then we have to start putting ourselves first. Now, this doesn't mean we're going to neglect the people around us. It doesn't mean that we're not going to help the people around us. It simply means that we are going to make sure that our needs are taken care of first before we volunteer to help someone or before we volunteer to take on more than we probably should. Sometimes putting yourself first might look like telling someone else no. It might look like telling someone not today or not right now. And that is okay. I know we're taught that being selfish is a bad thing, but it's only bad if you're neglecting your loved ones and if you're not helping people in a time where they really need you. Being selfish is not a bad thing when your needs aren't being met. So you have to choose yourself to make sure that you're good. So make sure you're filling up your own cup first, taking care of your needs, choosing yourself. Stop committing to things that you don't want to commit to. Stop paying for things that you really don't want to pay for. The second way we're going to make 2025 our year is by doing things that we may not necessarily like or want to do, but those things will help us to achieve our goals. Now, mind you, I am talking about things that are morally sound, that align with your values. I'm not talking about things that go against that. But sometimes we have to take certain actions that we don't want to take in order to achieve our goals. For example, I have several goals for 2025 that involve finances. One of my goals is to be debt free. I want to be able to pay off all of my debt. So right now I work 2 jobs. Both of my jobs are in person, so I have to commute to both of them. I have to be there physically in person. I'm interacting with people in both of these jobs, so I'm dealing with lots of different personalities and attitudes and scenarios every single day. And yes, every single day, because I work every single day since I have 2 jobs. When I'm off for one job, I'm on with the other, and sometimes I do doubles within the week. Now, do I want to do doubles? No. Do I want to work 2 jobs? No. I would love to have one job that pays enough for all of my expenses, all of my bills, everything that I want and need. I would love for one job to be able to cover all of that. But that's not how my life looks right now. So until I get there, what I'm doing in the meantime to help better my financial situation so I can reach my financial goals, I am working 2 jobs at the moment. That is going to help me to pay off my debt faster. That's going to help me to save faster. That's going to help me to improve my life faster. Depending on what your goals are, you are going to have to do something that you may not like or you may not want to, but that one thing or several of those things will help you to make progress. They will help you to actually achieve your goals. We cannot keep doing things the same way if we are not getting the results that we want. If you keep doing things the same way, if you keep approaching your goals the same way and you're not making progress, you're not achieving them, you keep giving up, you've got to change something. You're either going to readjust your goal or you're going to readjust your approach, or maybe even both. By the way, I was going to say I'm technically working 3 jobs because I have the 2 jobs, the 2 W-2 jobs, but I'm also building a business and I do make money from my business. So it's not like I'm just doing it for free, but at the moment, I don't make a full-time income from my business, but that is something I'm working towards. So I'm technically working 3 jobs. And again, I don't want to be working 3 jobs or multiple jobs. I would like to have one job that covers all of my expenses. But for now, since I don't have that, I have to work 2 to 3 jobs at the same time until I can get there. The next thing to focus on in order to make 2025 our best year yet is to embrace the cringe. This point is specifically for any content creators and business owners in the making who are watching this video. Building your own platform or a following on a social media platform or just online in general is cringy. Building a business and dealing with all of the mistakes and mess ups and bad decisions and failures that you will experience in the beginning and throughout your journey is cringy. Putting yourself out there online for people to watch your journey, for them to judge your decisions, for them to see you mess up, for them to see you make bad decisions, for them to see things flop, for them to see things not take off the way you want them to, that is cringy. It's going to feel cringy. It's going to feel embarrassing at times. Recording content in public is cringy. When I was making my vlog at the laundromat, and when I film content at the laundromat too, sometimes I feel a bit embarrassed, even though it's for our social media accounts or it's for my social media account, and I know it's content that can be helpful, it's entertaining, it's insightful. Sometimes it feels really cringy to pull out my phone to set up my tripod, especially when I have my tripod out. But the moment doesn't last that long, and even if someone looks at me like, what in the world is she doing, or who does she think she is, she really thinks she's an influencer or a content creator or whatever, so what? Regardless if someone is looking at you or not, if they're judging you or not, it can still feel cringy, but you've got to push through that feeling so that you can complete your task and ultimately complete your goal. You just have to remember that people who are successful, they took risks, they embrace the embarrassing moments, the cringy moments, the moments in which they messed up. They didn't allow those moments to stop them from going after their goals. And if we want to achieve our goals in 2025, if we want to make 2025 our best year yet, we've got to push through that feeling of embarrassment, of, oh my goodness, this is really cringy, because our goals, the results that we're seeking, those are all on the other side of that once we push through it. So far, we talked about putting yourself first, doing things you may not like or want to do, and embracing the cringe. The next thing is to embrace your season of isolation. When you're in grind mode, when you are focused on achieving your goals, you will naturally spend less time with other people, meaning your family, your friends, your loved ones. Now, I know people will say it's all about what you make time for. You make time for the things you care about. Absolutely, I agree with that. And right now, what I care about is achieving certain goals that I've set for myself. And in order for me to achieve those goals, I can't do certain things. I can't give my time and my energy to certain people, to certain places, to certain events, to certain organizations. I need to put that time, that energy, that money into me, into my goals. And that means that I'm not going to be spending as much time with the people I used to spend quite a bit of time with a few years ago or even last year. You will also find yourself in this predicament. You're going to be turning down invitations. You're going to be turning down requests to hang out or to attend an event. You're going to talk to people less and less on the phone or in person or via text because you are focused on achieving your goals. You're putting in the work. You're dedicating your time and your energy towards your goals. So you don't have that much free time to give to people like you did before. And that's okay. The people who are for you, they're going to understand. And they know that this is a season. It's something that's temporary. This is not how you're going to live your life for the rest of your life. They understand you're in your grind mode. You're in your hustle mode. You're focused on achieving certain things. And that means that you don't have as much time. Your schedule doesn't look the way it did last year. And that's okay. You're in a certain season of your life. But the people who aren't for you, they will get upset with you and they will cut you off and they will isolate themselves from you because you're no longer serving them. You're no longer serving their needs. You're no longer someone or something that's helpful to them. The people who only want to use you, the people who don't care about you, they will have a problem with you not giving them as much time and energy like you used to. But the people who are for you, the people who care about you, the people who want to see you succeed, they will understand that you are going to be in a season of isolation unintentionally. You're not trying to neglect them, you're not trying to cut ties with them, you're not trying to abandon your friend group or your loved ones. They will understand that you simply need to take some of that time and that energy you used to give to them and dedicate it to yourself and to your goals instead for this year. The last thing for us to do in order to make 2025 our best year yet is to keep the end results in mind, especially when things get tough. So when things get rough, maybe it's in the moments where you feel very embarrassed, or the moment feels really cringy because you're trying to record content in public, or you're taking a certain risk in your business or just your life in general in order to achieve a goal. Or maybe you had to end a friendship recently because you found out that person is really not for you. They were just using you, and now they're upset because you're in a season of isolation. Whatever it is, when things start to get tough, we have to remind ourselves of why we have set certain goals and why we are working towards certain goals. When things get hard, when I'm exhausted from working my 2 jobs, really 3, when I get exhausted, when I feel a bit cranky because I didn't get much sleep or I haven't had anything to eat. Like today, I didn't even get to eat until 4 o'clock. I didn't have any breakfast, didn't have a snack or anything until I got home at 4 o'clock, and then I finally had something to eat for the day. So whatever the case is, when things start to get really hard, when I'm not feeling my best, when it seems like everything and everyone is getting on my nerves, because I do have to deal with people on a daily basis, and I'm dealing with so many different types of people, when everything just feels overwhelming, I have to remember why I'm working the way I'm working. Why am I going about things the way I'm going about things? Why did I set certain goals? Is because ultimately I want that financial freedom. I am seeking freedom. You have a bigger why behind your goals. Like, yeah, you have a goal of, I want to do XYZ, but why? And then dive even deeper. Why is this so important for you to achieve that goal? Why is it necessary for you to achieve that goal in 2025? Is this something that could be achieved in 2 years later? Is this something that you could put on pause or on the back burner? Or is this a goal that you said, I need to get this done in 2025? And if that is how you feel about it, why? Why is that? You need to keep that why and that end result in mind, because that is going to be your motivation, your inspiration, and your drive to keep going when things get tough, when things get hard, when you feel like giving up, but you're so close. That is going to help you to keep going. In order for us to remember our why, we can write this down. You can use the notes app on your phone. You can get pen and paper, write it down in a journal, pour your emotions and your thoughts into it, whatever you choose to use. And when things get tough, go back and read that. Maybe you could write a letter to your future self and write it based on how you're feeling right now. This is my situation. This is what I want to accomplish a year from now. I hope when you open and read this letter, this is what you've achieved. Whatever the case is, you could write a letter to yourself. You could write an email to yourself and have it scheduled to send to yourself a year from now. You can just write down your thoughts in a journal and keep that to yourself. You can write it in your notes app. However you want to go about it, write it down. Write down your goals, write down your why, write down how you're feeling, what are you experiencing right now, all of that, because that is going to help you. Another thing you can do is to create a vision board, so that way you have something that will help you to visualize your end results. You could create a vision board online and set that as your wallpaper on your phone or your computer, or you can have a physical vision board where you get a poster or some type of board and you get pictures and you put that on the board, on the poster board or whatever, and keep that in a place in which you frequently go to, whether it's your bedroom or your living room or your office, wherever it may be. Keep it in a place in which you can see it. That will serve as a constant reminder of what it is you are working towards, what you will ultimately get once you achieve those goals that you have set for yourself for 2025 and beyond. Those are 5 things that we can focus on, that we can work on in 2025 in order to make it our best year yet. What other tips or strategies do you have that we can implement in order to make this our year, to really make it our year? Let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear your thoughts and your input on this conversation.